Welcome to this week's Communique. I'm your host Hinsia. Certificate awarding ceremony Kalotsava 2018 was organized first time in St. Aloysius College, Mangaluru.
To recognize the young minds and the achievers, St. Aloysius College organized Kalotsava 2018. The chief guest of the function was Dr. Devraj K, Director, SDM Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, and the guest of honor was Mr. Archie Menezes, President of SACA. Ishwara Bhatt, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, welcomed the gathering. A total of 282 students received the certificates for their excellence. The chief guest of the program shared his thoughts to the young achievers. Mr. Devraj motivated students to excel in their own area and get reward all over the world. Mr. Archie Menezes, President of SACA, created a positive vibe in students with his thought-provoking speech. Reverend Dr. Praveen Matis S.J., Principal, St. Aloysius College, remarked the importance of practice.
Miss Sylvia, Miss Vanessa Rodriguez, Miss Pamela, Miss Sushmita, the students of MA Economics, Mr. Sanjay Ganesh, Miss Jonita Priyavas, and Miss Jenica D'Souza.
Summer is the hottest of the 4 temperate seasons, falling after spring and before autumn. As it is summer season going on, let's have more whereabouts on summer.
Summer season, it's just begun, and we see that people are already falling sick, and we see the summer season where people can't bear the heat, and just because of there is globalization, and just because people are cutting down the trees, and nowadays the buildings are coming up and the trees are going down, and there you can't see the greenery anywhere. And to see the greenery, we are going to other places where we can create our own one small kind of jungle and all. So nowadays we can't see the jungle, and all the animals are coming here, and the heat, summer season, if I say that, especially in the school timings and all, we used to say that from this month to this month, summer season starts, and this month to this time, winter season starts. Nowadays, you can't just identify which month is summer season, because every month it looks like it's summer season, it's winter season, rainy season. So, if I talk about this month, people are saying that it's very hot, ma'am, and it's very hot. Because we see that the summer season already began just because of us, because of our desire to come up in the world where we don't want to see the trees, we want to see the better life, better world, and only with the buildings and the malls and all, so no trees. So I just suggest all the people to save trees so we can beat the summer.
Just before 1 month ago, we started with our summer season. This February, March, April, May, it's a very hot summer, and it's a hot weather. That too, it's we feel very difficult. Like sweating is very irritating, and not even human beings suffer face difficulties in summer. But then too, the animals like birds, where they are suffering, they cannot fetch their thirst. Like so we can provide like some water to them, like near the terrace or anything else. Then we also we feel very thirsty. Then 24 hours we needed a fan and or AC service in while coming to Mangalore. It's very hot weather like compared to other places.
Good evening. Today I will talk about the common diseases which are prevalent in this part of the world during the summer. Actually, summer is relatively healthy season for us because even in summer we have abundance of water, and our summer is not as bad as it is in the north. So none of us here suffer from any heat strokes, heat exhaustion and all these kind of things. But we do get certain diseases which are prevalent during the summer, especially these waterborne illnesses, because the water becomes a little stagnant and the flowing water comes down. So they are susceptible for gastroenteritis, something like cholera and all those things. Malaria, dengue and all are endemic in this area 24/7. During all seasons. It may be a little more during the monsoon and immediately after the monsoon, but we do get to see them even in summer because of a lot of construction work that goes around the town of Mangaluru, where the water gets stagnant and becomes a mosquito breeding center. So, as I mentioned, gastroenteritis is one thing we need to look into during the summer. We have to adequately hydrate ourselves and prevent coming in contact with contaminated food and water. Wash your hands well before you consume food. Make sure your food is warm and clean. And coming to malaria and dengue, which is pretty endemic in Mangalore, the best way to stay away from these diseases is to prevent the disease than to treat. Dengue is a disease transmitted by a mosquito called Aedes aegypti, which usually bites you during the daytime, unlike the other mosquitoes. And dengue doesn't have a proper treatment. It is a self-limiting illness. Sometimes it may end up with life-threatening complications like dengue hemorrhagic fever or dengue shock syndrome, which can be lethal. But the point here is the prevention of dengue is more important than treating dengue. Prevention we can achieve by good mosquito control, by preventing the breeding, kind of avoiding the breeding areas for the mosquitoes where you make sure there's no stagnant water in and around your house. Most often we get to see this water getting stagnated in tires or sometimes even in the coconut shell. These are the common places where the water gets stagnant and mosquito breeds. Same thing holds good for malaria as well, because malaria is again transmitted by a mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. But there the bite usually happens in the night, but the mosquito usually enters your house in the daytime, towards the evening. So make sure all your windows and doors are closed between 5 to 9. Even if one of your favorite guests come to your house, make sure they don't come during these hours, so that we open the door. Along with that, the mosquitoes get in also. And the same thing I said, avoid water getting stagnant in and around your house. And we don't have a vaccine for malaria. We can have the larval control by spraying disinfectants into the water, or even sometimes by growing guppy fish, which kind of eats up the larva.
That's all for this week's Communique. I'm your host Hinsia signing off with camera person Abba.